What is going on, everybody? This is Tony from TandATV1, the biggest fan of the Anaheim Mighty Duckletts, and here with me is the coach of the Duckletts, Adam.
Hey, I'm pretty stuffed up, so we'll get this recording done for you guys. We had our Week 8 battle against Sam. It was the last battle of the regular season. We're really vying for the potentially second or third spot in the playoffs. Both Sam and I, with our record, made it to the postseason regardless of the outcome of this battle. We're also, I think, competing for the top in our division. I think we're the Sinnoh division.
I think that's right. Something like that.
So it was there was a lot on the line for this battle. It's hard to. You definitely want to go in on a win against going into the tournament. So with that, we'll look at the teams. Sam brought, if you remember, Week 6, because that was one of our 3 videos that we uploaded. He actually brought the same team, which is pretty smart on his side, because that means we don't know exactly if he's running the same sets, different sets. He gives us no tactical advantage, especially if we play him potentially in the playoffs again. So it was pretty smart by him. Again, big threat on his side is that Kyurem. Other than that, I guess we can talk about our team, really.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Go ahead and talk about the team that you decided to bring this week.
You know, Regirock made its glorious return after not really seeing any action at all through the season. Brought the standard Vaporeon Thundurus core that's been with us for every game this season. We decided to bring a Terrakion to this battle since we didn't bring it last time. I thought that, you know, it maybe have been too obvious last time. I brought in a Focus Sash variant this time to hopefully just get a Sword Stance up on something like that we can take a hit from, and then just kind of plow through things. Brought in Nasty Bat, Nasty Plot Crobat. The U-turn, Volt-turn combo gave him troubles last time, so I was trying to take advantage of that a little bit again. And basically a pretty similar Latias set that just really is one of my only and main check to that Kyurem to kind of keep him weary. If he scarfs it, then I might have a problem, but we'll see how it works out in the battle.
Yeah, so I wanted you to talk about the Duckletts team because, you know, you're the coach of the Duckletts. You know the players. I'll just talk about his team very quickly. Again, as Adam said, he brought the same team. The Kyurem Black is obviously a huge threat. I don't really know how people really deal with an OU very well, because it is really tough to switch anything into that thing. It is just a monster, and it's the moves that it learns really help it both on the physical and special side, so it's really tough to deal with. And then he also has the Skarmory, which is a great physical wall, and then he brought his 2 big, fast attackers in Infernape and Alakazam. The last time, those were both Focus Sashed, and so Adam had to kind of think about what those possibly were. Alakazam was likely Focus Sashed again, because that's really the only set that you see for that. But with that, we'll go ahead and get the battle started here in a second. Let's give it a second to load up.
I'll just start with it for turn 1. Since it'll be starting right about now. I led with Latias, predicting his Kyurem. It was really just my best lead in general. Anything that he has doesn't really have a great matchup against Latias, so I wanted to be able to kind of put him on the defensive to start with, as he did me first time we battled. Unfortunately, I'm not carrying T-Bolt on this one like I did last time, so I didn't really want to stay in here. And I didn't want him to be able to get his rocks up and my sash be broken, so I brought in Terrakion to start. He feared that and brought in his, I'm assuming, mixed wall Sylveon, which obviously I can't stay in there. My best switch really is Crobat, because barring Psyshock, he can't really do much to me. I knew he was either going to protect or switch out, which was going to afford me to be able to go for the Nasty Plot.
It's such a glorious move. The pink Crobat going for the Nasty Plot. So here he doesn't want to stand because he fears the Sludge Bomb. So he goes into Skarmory. This is a pretty obvious switch. And I think there's a shot there he could have gone for Heat Wave, but now he's kind of doing some switch shenanigans to take as little damage as possible from Crobat, which is unfortunate because Nasty Bat really wanted to do a lot more, I think.
It was a lot of good pivot switching by Sam. It was stuff that I should have seen coming, but at the time I was just like, I must get damage on everyone. So unfortunately now Nasty Bat has to get out of here, or else it's not going to be able to do anything ever. However, this affords a very good opportunity to go into my specially defensive Regirock to try and get rocks up to force his whatever you want to call it, Skarmory, to come in and defog, which is basically a free switch for my my Thundurus. So I skipped a couple turns ahead right there, but right now what I'm going to do is go for Stealth Rocks.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a big theme in this match, that you putting pressure on him with Regirock by getting Stealth Rocks up and then him having to defog them away. So here he just wants to get out of there because he saw how little that overheat did, and he was also -2 special attack, so he Volt Switches out of there, goes into Skarmory because he figures that Regirock can't do anything to Skarmory, which is generally true. So Adam just gets the Stealth Rocks up here.
Right, and I know that with his team composition, especially assuming that he has 2 Focus Sashers again, he's gonna want to get rid of the rocks, which again, every time I get rocks up, it's pretty much a free switch into Thundurus and a free Volt Switch, which is damage on somebody. So that's what I do.
Right, so again, he doesn't want to get down to Sturdy, so he's going to switch out his Skarmory and bring in Rotom. Now this Rotom, it's not the same Rotom that he brought last time. Last time he brought an Assault Vest Rotom, and this, from the looks of that damage and the way he's been playing it, it's, I think, fully specially defensive. And I think how little that overheat did to it, I don't think it has any special attack investment at all.
Right, which concerned me, because that meant that he can have both Toxic, which he will go for here in a second, or Will-O-Wisp, which is not something that my physical attackers really want to see. So that was pretty concerning to me. And as you see, the Psyshock does a large amount of damage to him. So I'm thinking that he probably did not have really any physical bulk at all. He was probably fully specially defensive.
Right.
So I just go for the Psyshock. I really should have just gone for the Psyshock again. As you'll see, I will switch up my moves to what I teched on there instead of T-Bolt. I teched on the Surf. That was actually specifically for that Rotom, but seeing that it was specially defensive, I didn't want to go for it the first turn. I don't know why I went for it there. I really should have went for Psyshock again, but...
I think the fear was Skarmory getting a free switch in to try to set up rocks on a Psyshock, but I think that, yeah, the smarter play was just to go for Psyshock again.
Yep, so now I just bring in Regirock again. He's fully specially defensive, pretty much, maybe a little bit of variance, but you can see that this uninvested Hyper Voice still does a lot to me, which is just mind-blowing. But again, this is a pretty free opportunity for me to get rocks, which means he's gonna have to bring Skarmory in. So I could do that again. We'll have this little dance all over again.
Right, and it's really unfortunate that couldn't ever hit Skarmory just once to get a little bit of damage off on it so its Sturdy was broken, because I think that would have helped a little bit too. But it's okay, because a free switch into Thundurus to get off a free Volt Switch is always nice, no matter what he decides to go into. It's always good to have that initiative. Right,
you get initiative plus chip damage on whatever comes in. Even obviously especially defensive Rotom, he does not overly appreciate taking a base 145 stab Volt Switch coming out of its face.
Right.
This time he decides to bring in Sylveon, which Sylveon is just so naturally specially defensive that it still takes a decent amount from it. From there, I still don't really know quite what his EV spread is, but I'm sure it's some mixed variant.
Yeah, I would say minimal special defense investment, though, judging by that damage from a Volt Switch. I don't think there's much special defense there.
So this is another opportunity for me to try and do a little nasty plot shenanigans. Unfortunately, he brings in the Kyurem as I go for the nasty plot. Now, I'm sitting here worrying to myself, crap, this could be Scarfed. If it is, I'm going to die. If it's not, I'm going to hit it, and I'm still going to die. So I just go for the optimal play of going for the Sludge Bomb, hoping for a poison, just trying to do as much damage as I can, and then, unfortunately, Crobat goes down.
Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, I think... I mean, people will probably think, like, oh, you should have switched out there. And yeah, the Crobat was important, but at the time, you didn't really have any switches into Kyurem at all, so something had to go down, really.
I really didn't want him to get a sub up.
Right.
But I knew that since he's not Scarfed, that I would scare him off with Terrakion being outspeed him and get a Swords Dance up. I know that Skarmory is obviously a very defensive Pokemon, but I was really surprised that my +2 close combat didn't do more than that. Again, I don't really play OU all that often, but I really thought it would do more than that. +2.
Yeah, this is why Skarmory is a premier OU wall. That shows you why right there.
Yeah, so at this point I get to take him down, which I'm thinking to myself, excellent. Now I can get the Stealth Rocks up, and they're here to stay. I can break these sashes, well, not on Alakazam, but I can break the other sashes. I get 25% on both Rotom and Kyurem. Unfortunately, he brings in I almost said Chimpact, Infernape, which can Mach Punch me to death, or if he's Choice Scarfed, he would outspeed me. So I had to go into Vaporeon. It was pretty much my most expendable Mon at this point. I really just wanted him to take a hit and be able to scare him off or deal a lot of damage with Scald.
So when he switches out there, I think that kind of, he may fear the Rocky Helmet, I guess, a little bit, but I think that could have been a slight warning sign that, hey, maybe he is Scarfed. But I think that it's still, fearing Rocky Helmet possible. I don't know if he had seen the leftovers. Had he seen leftovers at that point? Maybe he had. He
would have saw the Rocky Helmet from the close combat impact, but...
That's right, you're right, yeah.
Here is a terrible time, because now he has Kyurem in on my poor little Vaporeon, who cannot do anything to Kyurem, so he gets a free sub up. I went for Baton Pass, basically just saying to myself, if I die, I die. If I Baton Pass, I get a free switch into somebody. This is actually where this special defense EV in Regirock comes in handy, because I'm not overly destroyed by an Earth Power from Kyurem B. So we'll see him actually show that he does have Earth Power with the sub, which I would expect him to have.
Right.
And you'll see me not die, which is good for me. Good for me. And this Drain Punch actually on this sub gives me a lot of HP back, enough so that he has to go for an Earth Power to even potentially kill me.
That's right. Yeah, after leftovers, yes. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's gonna be within range there. So.
The other move that I have on him is Stone Edge, and I really wanted to go for it to try and kill him, or potentially switch out to Latias on the predicted Earth Power, but I just couldn't. I do survive, which is really impressive to me. And again, if I went for Stone Edge, I would have killed him, but if I missed, I would have been in a really bad position.
Yeah, and I mean, if he had gotten if he decided to sub there, and let's say you switch out or miss a Stone Edge, then I mean, it's almost good game at that point, because he can just do whatever he wants behind a sub.
Right, and again, at this point, I don't think Ice Beam really kills me from there. And so, again, I could have tried to take advantage of that, but if he did go for Ice Beam, predicting me to predict that, I wouldn't have been in a good position, because the only Pokemon that I could really switch into would have been Latias, and that is not going to appreciate an Ice Beam. So
right.
I get the free switch into the ever-threatening Terrakion, and now he's starting to run out of switches to bring into on Terrakion. I go for the Iron Head, predicting hopefully the Sylveon. Unfortunately, he went to Alakazam, which naturally outspeeds me, so I have to get out of there. This is a series where, again, I could have made a little bit of a different play and hoped maybe for a roll. He went for the Psyshock, which does a decent amount, but I do have Special and Bulk in this Vaporeon. I could have hopefully maybe protected and hoped that I could have survived the Energy Ball. Probably not, but...
Yeah, it may have been close, but I'm not sure if you would have. Not with the spread you were running.
Yeah. But to threaten him out, even though I'm not Scarfed, I bring in Thundurus, because with the really quick selection that I did, I would hope to make him think that I'm Scarfed, which actually happened to work out in my favor. I'm actually not Scarfed. I think I'm E-Belt in this game. So I go for the Volt Switch, get a little bit more initiative, and I can bring in... Oh, I'm surprised I didn't bring in Terrakion there. Bring in Latias, and I'm probably just going to go for a Psyshock here, because that'll kill from this range, and it'll do enough damage to anybody who wants to bring in that'll kill them also.
Right, and actually, had you brought in Terrakion there, that may have changed the other things that happened later on in this game, which you will see in a few moments.
You'll see at the end of this game. He brings in Sylveon. It's a free switch in for him. I can't stay in here. And at this point, I'm thinking to myself, well, I've lost. He's just going to go for Hyper Voice here, and I can't really take two of those. I'm going to die. He goes for the Wish. And at this point, normally I have Sludge Bomb on my Sludge Bomb or Sludge Wave on my Thundurus to take care of this. And it might seem like a very silly play to be going for Dark Pulse, but that was literally the best move that I had to kill him. I had Volt Switch. I had a unknown hidden power that I can't tell you guys. I had... Well, I don't even remember what my fourth one was.
It may have been T-Bolt.
If I had T-Bolt, I would have won.
Oh, no, it was Focus Blast. It was Focus Blast.
Yeah, I didn't want to miss that. So I was hoping, you know what, I'll just wear him down. I'll just flinch him with the 4% damage that I'm doing every turn. I'll flinch him all the way to death.
It's a pro play. It's really the best strategy.
I mean, again, at this point I was kind of like, well, I've probably lost this, but you know what, let's just try this. Because I can't do anything to break the Sylveon down anymore.
Yeah, and that was why when Crobat died, like looking back, like once Crobat was gone, it's kind of like, well, crap, because now nothing is alive that can really do much to Sylveon.
I was surprised by this play. I mean, I think he was playing it safe. He didn't want maybe an Iron Head flinch or an Iron Head crit, even though I don't think that would have killed him. But went for Iron Head, killed the Alakazam. And this is when he brings in frickin' Infernape. I know that he's faster than me, and I know he can kill me, and I really need Terrakion for the Sylveon, because it's the only thing that can actually do damage. He goes for the close combat. I know I can take this. It only does 48 damage to me. Unfortunately, with the Toxic, it's going to get me to a point where I believe it is a roll that if I can survive this or not. Unfortunately, the roll was not on my side. It still probably would have been his game at this point, unless I got a flinch Iron Head or a crit flinch Iron Head on Sylveon after I killed him Infernape. But
right. And I mean, also, had you if you brought in Terrakion on Kyurem Black instead of Latias, Latias probably would have killed because it, killed that Infernape because it wouldn't have taken that other toxic damage that it had to take. But again, it probably still was going to be his game just because of the fact that, there wasn't really much to do to Sylveon at that point. So it was unfortunate, but it was still a very close game. It was a very good game, I thought, watching it back.
Yeah, it was easily one of my favorite and best games that I've had all season. So much kudos to Sam FooFooToo, because it was fantastic. Both battles that I had with Sam this year have been really, really good battles.
Yeah, I think this is really kind of a battle that epitomizes what the GBA and the GBA D-League are about. Really good, well-made teams that are constructed to counter-team each other, and a really good, close battle with some really interesting plays. So I'm really happy about that. I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. So Adam, why don't we go ahead and talk about what that battle meant for the playoffs?
So unfortunately with that loss, I no longer was leading the Sinnoh conference. It was actually Sam who came back from the -9 2-loss differential at the beginning of the season to just sweep the remainder of his games and actually leads the Sinnoh conference, which allowed him to be potentially the 2 or 3 seed depending on the battle that happened between Miguel and George. So that one didn't actually happen. So what ended up happening was that Sam ended up with the 3 seed. I ended up with the 4 seed. George ended up with the 2 seed, and Miguel had clinched number 1 like, I don't know, 6 battles ago. So
pretty much.
Yeah. So that would mean that I play Miguel in the first round of the playoffs, and Sam, the number 3 seed, will play George in the first round of the playoffs. That'll be an interesting battle. Both of us have actually played the person that we have in the playoffs. We've played them before. I lost to Miguel, and that was week 2. Was that week 2?
Yep.
Yeah. That was my first loss of all GBA plays, because the preseason I had won everything. Preseason tournament I won everything. First battle against Frank I won that, and then I came in and I got destroyed 3-0 by Miguel.
Well, now you say you got destroyed, but really, when you look at Miguel's season, that 3-0 was one of his closer matches. So I don't really know how bad of a loss it really was.
That's very true. That's very true. When you have a season where you generally 4-5-0 people, yeah, I guess 3-0 isn't too terrible. But so that'll be interesting. I think that they're trying to get those videos. Those battles have actually already happened. And I think that they're going to be going up on the main GBA YouTube channel soon. We'll also get a video out on those also soon. But
Yes.
So that's what that meant by losing. But unfortunately, I matched myself up with the undefeated. Well, I guess he got one loss at the week 8 because he didn't show up for his battle. But the really undefeated Real Moril. So not looking forward to that.
Yeah, so guys, stay tuned for that battle because you'll enjoy that one, I think. So, and then if there are some other announcements that we can make about some other things that have happened, Adam, right?
I guess it's kind of important.
That's pretty vague of me to say, but I'll let you go ahead and say it.
If you guys are subscribed to the GBA YouTube channel, you actually already know this, but the Anaheim Mighty Ducklets have actually moved up from the D-League to the regular GBA as an expansion team. We just finished the draft not too long ago. We'll try and get a draft analysis video out to you guys here soon. Really looking forward to playing with the big dogs up there. So we'll see how that goes.
So keep following the Ducklets because even though this season is over, Ducklets still have to stay in shape and just move on to bigger and better things. So I think we need to stop this video because we've been talking for way too long. But so we'll bring you some more videos soon, especially that round 1 against Miguel and then the subsequent GBA videos that we will have in the future. So hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a comment. Until next time, guys, peace.